We tend to think of our world as the absolute peak of human achievement. But what if I told you that history is a graveyard of brilliant inventions we still can't quite figure out? I'm talking about analog computers from 2,000 years ago, and naval superweapons that spit fire even water couldn't quench. Our past is littered with blueprints for a future that never was. These aren't just dusty relics. They're echoes of genius, flashes of brilliance that, for one reason or another, got erased by time. So today, let's unearth some of the most amazing forgotten sciences and lost arts that history left behind. Back in 1900, a crew of sponge divers off the Greek island of Antikythera stumbled upon an ancient Roman shipwreck. They found the usual treasures, but also a corroded bronze lump the size of a shoebox. It didn't look like much, but when archaeologists started cleaning it, they uncovered a breathtakingly complex system of interlocking bronze gears. What they had found was the Antikythera Mechanism. Dating back to around the 2nd century BCE, this device is now recognized as the world's oldest known analog computer. With a stunning assembly of over 30 precision-cut gears, a simple turn of a hand crank could set a clockwork cosmos in motion. This wasn't just for telling time, it was a sophisticated astronomical calculator. Its dials could predict the positions of the sun and moon, and it could even forecast solar and lunar eclipses with startling accuracy by tracking long-term celestial cycles. Advanced X-ray scanning has revealed it even modeled the moon's irregular orbit. While it's still debated among scholars, some research suggests it may have also tracked the 5 planets visible to the naked eye. Here's the kicker. Nothing even approaching this level of mechanical complexity appeared again for over 1,000 years, until the great astronomical clocks of medieval Europe. It was a quantum leap in engineering that seemingly came out of nowhere. And that's the real mystery. Why did this technology just vanish? The leading theory is that it was simply too advanced, too expensive, and too difficult to reproduce. Making one required a master craftsman with an incredible grasp of both mechanics and astronomy. When that knowledge wasn't passed on, the art of building a mechanical universe was lost, waiting at the bottom of the sea to be rediscovered. Picture this, a fleet of wooden ships primed for battle. Suddenly, from the Byzantine galleys across the water, a stream of liquid fire shoots out. It sticks to wood, to sailors, and most terrifyingly, it keeps burning on the water. Trying to douse it only seems to make it angrier. This was Greek fire, the most feared superweapon of the medieval world. From the 7th to the 13th century, this incendiary weapon was the ultimate naval deterrent, helping to secure the dominance of the Byzantine Empire and saving its capital, Constantinople, from numerous sieges. It was launched from ship-mounted bronze tubes called siphons, acting like a terrifyingly effective flamethrower that could engulf an enemy fleet in minutes. Historical accounts describe the thunder and smoke that came with it, making it as much a psychological weapon as a physical one. So, what was in it? The exact formula was one of the most closely guarded state secrets in history. Tradition holds that the knowledge was restricted to a specific family and the emperors, passed down through generations. When the Byzantine Empire eventually fell, the secret appears to have died with it. Modern analysis of historical texts suggests it was a petroleum-based mixture, likely combined with sticky pine resin and other chemicals. One popular theory is that it included quicklime, which reacts violently with water, which might explain why water seemed to make it burn even more fiercely, though this is still just a hypothesis. While we have modern equivalents like napalm, the exact formula and the pressurized system the Byzantines used remain a chilling example of a technology so powerful it was hidden from the world, only to be lost to time. For centuries, kings and warriors lusted after a blade of legendary status, Damascus Steel. Forged in the Middle East from about 300 BCE until the 18th century, these swords were famous for 2 things. They were said to be so sharp they could slice a falling silk scarf, yet tough enough to bend without breaking. But their most distinct feature was the beautiful, watery pattern that rippled across the blade's surface. This pattern wasn't just for show. The secret was in the ingredients and the process. The blades were made from a specific raw material called Damascus Steel, imported from India. This steel was created in a crucible, which gave it a very high carbon content. When a smith forged these ingots, they used a precise cycle of heating and hammering. This caused the carbides in the steel to form into microscopic bands, creating both the visible patterns and the blade's superior strength. Now, here's where it gets wild. Modern analysis has revealed something astounding. Some studies suggest these blades contain structures like carbon nanotubes and cementite nanowires, hallmarks of modern nanotechnology. Through trial, error, and tradition, ancient smiths had stumbled upon a process that manipulated the steel's microstructure in a way we've only recently begun to understand. So why did this incredible technology vanish around 1750? The theories are twofold. First, the specific ore from India, with its unique impurities, might have run out. Second, because the process was a closely guarded secret passed from master to apprentice, any break in that chain could have doomed the art. Modern smiths can create pattern-welded steel that mimics the look, but recreating true Wootz Damascus with its unique internal nanostructure remains an elusive quest. Not all lost arts are weapons. Some are instruments of breathtaking beauty. For over 2 centuries, the violins made by Antonio Stradivari in Cremona, Italy, have been hailed as the most perfect musical instruments ever created. Crafted in the late 17th and early 18th centuries, Stradivarius violins are famous for a sound with a richness and clarity that, according to legend, can't be matched. But here's the twist. In multiple double-blind tests, even expert soloists often can't reliably tell a Stradivarius from a top-tier modern instrument, and many even prefer the new ones. So, is the magic in the myth, or is there something else going on? Science suggests there might be. For generations, the secret was chalked up to Stradivari's genius craftsmanship. But recent analysis points to a story of chemical ingenuity. Studies analyzing microscopic wood shavings from original instruments have detected a cocktail of chemicals, including borax, alum, and salts of copper and zinc. It's believed these chemicals served a dual purpose. They would have acted as a preservative against woodworms, but this chemical seasoning may have also altered the wood's cellular structure, changing its density and resonant properties. Essentially, Stradivari might have been a materials engineer. He may have found that his secret chemical treatments not only protected the instruments, but also gave them a unique acoustical edge. Because there were no patents, these methods were closely guarded secrets that ultimately died with their creators. History's junkyard of lost inventions isn't just filled with ancient mysteries. It also contains shockingly modern ideas that just showed up at the wrong party. A perfect example, the electric car. Long before Tesla was a household name, electric vehicles were surprisingly common. In fact, around the year 1900, electric cars made up about 1/3 of all vehicles on the road in the United States. The first crude electric carriages were built as early as the 1830s, and by the 1890s, they were often seen as better than their gasoline and steam-powered rivals. They were quiet, didn't spew smelly exhaust, and were a breeze to operate. No difficult gear changes, and no exhausting hand crank to start the engine. This made them especially popular in cities and with women drivers. Fleets of electric taxis were operating in New York City as early as 1896. For a brief, shining moment, the future of transportation looked electric. So, what went wrong? It was a classic story of economics and infrastructure. The discovery of huge crude oil reserves made gasoline incredibly cheap. At the same time, Henry Ford's moving assembly line made the gasoline-powered Model T far more affordable than any electric car. By 1912, you could buy a gas car for about $650 while an electric roadster sold for nearly 3 times that amount. Add in their limited range and the lack of a widespread power grid for recharging, and electric cars just couldn't compete. They faded into obscurity, all but vanishing by 1935, becoming a technological dead end until the environmental worries of a new century brought them roaring back to life. If you enjoyed this journey into history's forgotten brilliance, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More lost knowledge is waiting, and we're just getting started.